it's and welcome back to my channel for another video, and today I will be sharing my 2023 February plan with me, and I have a love potion theme to go along with the Valentine's Day spirit of the month. And I am going to be sharing 6 different pages, including a weekly spread with you guys today. But first, these are the supplies that I will be using. So I have my Faber Castel and Uniball eye pens for my black fine liners, my Tombow markers for the colors, and the journal is from Amazon. I will have link everything in the description box down below as always. I am also going to be using some paint for this video because I do the kind of magic coming out of the potions, and all of that is done with paint. I just have some like regular paint palette, which I think is gouache paint, so I'm just going to be using that. And if you are interested in a particular spread, I will leave the timestamps of the video in the description box down below. And if you just are here for the flip through, it will be at the end of the video. As you may know, if you have watched my channel for a little bit, I took a little break from bullet journaling this start of 2023. I actually didn't make any January pages. I had made beforehand my 2023 setup and all of my yearly pages, which I will link the video if you are interested to see that. But I had done everything beforehand, and then I got a lot of health issues and I was in the hospital until the 29th, and I didn't get to make my January spreads before January started. And let's say I spent the entire month on bed rest, so I didn't make any pages for January. I'm still planning on doing them like afterwards and filling them in all at once, but for now I am starting this year in February, so I went all out with the theme and just focused on having fun and finding my love back for bullet journaling after this break. And I also just tried to make it a little bit more simple compared to what I used to do, which is why I have a lot less pages too. I cut down a lot of my pages, and as you can see here, I have the cover page, and it's actually on the left side because I have the calendar on the right instead of having a 2-page calendar behind the cover page. I just squished everything and have both of them as one. So I just have a lot more of a simple setup with a lot less pages. So it's a little bit less overwhelming, and also because a lot of my trackers, I made them as yearly trackers for this year, so I don't need as much space. So yeah, keeping things a little bit more simple as I am going back to bullet journaling and just having fun. Honestly, that's kind of what I'm going for, and that's also the reason I chose this theme, because it is just like pink, and pink is my favorite color, and I had like a blast making these and creating them. So if you can see here on the screen, I'm making like the really simple mini calendar for this second page. It is 21 squares by 22 squares with a 2 square tall header at the top, and then each day is 3 by 4 squares, so it is very squished down compared to what I usually do. And then I just added a bunch of mini doodles, which is what I did for most of this theme. So I just have a couple of bottles of potions at the top of the calendar, which I started by filling up the inside as the liquid with the paint, just because it's easier that way, which I learned when I did the cover page and did the fine liner first and then painted, because I had to use some white paint and it's actually more opaque, so you couldn't see the black fine liner under it. And then I just did some magic coming out of those, and at the bottom I also have a cauldron, kind of like where the potion is made. I have a to-do list or on the right side, and then the little box on the bottom is going to be for goals. Here I'm just outlining the doodles. Honestly, for potions and stuff, I just looked on Pinterest and just got a bunch of different shapes. You can do basically any shape and size, and then the only thing for the liquid to look good, as if it's glass, you just need to have a little bit of a border on the inside, so the actual liquid part doesn't touch the outside. And then just to make it a little bit more interesting, I just took some white paint and I drew some stars and some dots. Just really quick, easy, and simple. Didn't take me that long, and that's just all I did. Just having some really quick things. And then we are moving on to the habits tracker, and I did something that I have never done before, which is actually to not technically outline anything, and didn't make the calendars or anything. I just first did in pencil. I did the outside of the mini calendars, and then I just took some paint and drew a cloud all over each line and just went around to leave the mini calendars blank. I feel like the end result looks so cool, and you can see here a little bit better. But what I did is use a light pink for like the entirety of the color, and then I went back in with a little bit of a darker pink and just blend that in some places just to have it have a little bit more dimension. It took a while to paint all of that, but it was really calming to do. Then I left all of the space at the bottom for the title, which doesn't look that great. I'm gonna be honest, I tried a new lettering and it didn't go that well, but I still like it, and it's by trying things that we learn. The last steps to complete this was just to add some potions at the bottom to make like the border of the mini calendars like it is some magic coming out of the bottles. And then I just added some stars. And also, if you want to see all of these spreads being used and filled out every single day, I am going to be doing my daily bullet journaling videos again in February. I am so excited to get back to making those for you guys every single day over on TikTok, which will be linked in the description box. So if you are interested in seeing some daily bullet journaling content and seeing how I actually use these spreads on a daily basis, then this is where you can find that. Moving on to my favorite spread of this entire month, which is my mood tracker. And for this one, I went with a giant shelf. And inside of it, I have 4 different rows, and each row has 7 potions. It worked perfectly for February since we have 28 days. So it was the perfect way to fit all of the potions in just a rectangle in the middle of the page, and I just outlined it with a very light shade of brown to have the light wood effect, and I left some space at the top for the title and some space at the bottom for the key to add the colors that I will be using to track my mood throughout the month. If you don't know what a mood tracker is, it is basically a way to write down what your mood was for each day of the month, and it can be used many different ways. I personally rate my day out of smiley faces, so from good to bad, and it just helps me to see how I'm doing, and also pairing it with a habits tracker can help you see if any of the tactics that you are using to better your mental health are actually working. So if you want to do some journaling every day and then you see that your mood improves, then you can see the correlations between things. So I'm just doing a bunch of different potions, all kinds of sizes and shapes. I found all of the designs idea on Pinterest for the most part, and then I just twisted it to make it my own, and then over some of them I just added some little clouds, but not to have it too crowded, since I will have all of the potions filled in and colored by the end of the month. For the title, I just did simple calligraphy, and then I went over with a black fine liner just to have the shadow parts, but not a full shadow, just some lines here and there. And then I added some of the little stars on the clouds, and then I will add the key at the bottom and numbering all of the different bottles of potions. To my last tracker for this monthly setup, we have my sleep tracker, which is an essential for me. I really value my sleep. I really try to prioritize sleep. Whatever I do, I always sleep a lot, and I also like to use one to try and see what hours work the best for me. So I usually have also an energy tracker, which this year I have a yearly energy tracker, so I can see kind of what hours works best for me to get the best sleep. I just did a very simple layout, just a box in the middle with at the top spaces to write the hours, on the side for the days of the month, and then at the top the title coming out of the potion bottle, and some shelves. Nothing fancy, but I did want to just say that I am skipping over a few pages. I didn't want to make this video super long, so I didn't include them, but I decided to still add them in later on in my journal. It won't be the flip through at the end, but I will post them all over on my Instagram. So if you want to go follow me on there, I do post all of my bullet journal on there too. But I added a highs and lows of the day as kind of a highlight of the day spread, and also my medications and symptoms tracker, as well as a to-do list for the month. So I just skipped over those. Maybe next month I will share them, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna add them and change my mind later on, so that's why they're not included in this video. But we are moving on to our very last spread, which is the weekly spread. I'm only sharing one, which is the big new thing for my channel this year. I'm going to be sharing 2 themes per month because I have my shop, which I sell digital bullet journals and planners, and I always do a theme for my shop and then my personal bullet journal. And I always do a physical copy of the ones that I'm going to be doing digitally, if it makes any sense. So I will be sharing 2 themes each month, so I'm not going to do a 3rd video with the weekly spreads. So that's you're just going to see 1 weekly spreads in these videos, and then you can see the rest of them over on Instagram. And also on Pinterest, if you want to go follow me on there, I also post them, but I'm a little less consistent over there. So for this weekly spread, I just have a potion bottle for each day of the week. And what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna use any paint to fill them inside. I'm just gonna write inside of the bottles for the days. I'm not sure how it is going to work, honestly. This is kind of just an experiment, I guess. So you can see a little bit better with those those potions, because they are a lot bigger. The inside of the bottles for the liquid parts, I don't fill them in completely. I leave some blanks inside of the line just to make it a little bit more, I don't know how to explain it, but I just think it looks a lot better this way. So that's what I did. And then I just added a strike of color and added the names of each day of the week, and then added the mini calendar in the left top corner, some paint to finish off the spread, and that's pretty much it for this spread. It feels both really busy and really blank at the same time. I don't even know how to explain it other than that, because it really does feel like both to me, but also like I like having a little bit more simplistic spreads. But this is almost at the end of this video. I'm just adding the final touches with some white paint, so you will have the final flip through in just a second. But if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like. It always helps my channel out. Don't forget to check out my socials in the description box down below. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Tell me in the comments if you have any theme ideas for me in the future, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!